exciting times, exciting times. Spitfire Audio have released not one, but two new orchestral libraries, both cut-down versions of their BBC Symphony Orchestra library. And the really exciting news is one is a low to mid-price library, currently on sale at £299, but full price is £399. But the other one, get this, is completely free. Yes, it's either free or you can pay £49. Why would you want to pay £49? All you have to do to get the free one is to fill in a little questionnaire, and then they'll send it to you 2 weeks later. Aha! 2 weeks later. That's the thing, isn't it? Because you techie geeks and you film composery types have the patience of a gnat, and 14 minutes is a long time to wait for a library, let alone 14 days. And so you're going to just eat yourselves alive in some weird way. Probably what you'll do is you'll pay the £49, I would have thought. And lots of people will. And there's a good reason to do that, because Spitfire share their income with the musicians. And so by buying the thing, you're also paying the musicians whose work you are enjoying and using. So it's a good thing, and it makes you feel warm inside. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to have a look at what you get and the difference between the two, and what the difference is between them and the now renamed BBC Symphony Orchestra Professional. And then in subsequent videos in the not too distant future, we're just going to be loading up one of these libraries, both of these libraries actually, and writing a piece of music from scratch so you can see how it works in practice. Right, let's have a little look at what you get. So here's the deal. So number of instruments. The Discover, which is the free one, you get 33 instruments. On the Core, you get 42, and the Professional, you get 56. Number of techniques, that's pizzicato, spiccato, legato, things like that. 47 for Discover, 305 for Core, and 435 for Professional, so obviously substantially more. This is the one where you'll notice the biggest difference. On the Discover, you only get one dynamic layer. In other words, it's all going to be mezzo, forte, or whatever. There's no sort of forte and piano. Although you can obviously turn the volume up and down, as I'll show you in a minute. You won't get the different timbres. You get one mic position, and when round robins, in other words, when you get a short note which is repeated, you only get one of those, whereas you get up to 8 on the Core and the Professional. The dynamic layers thing actually is not as big a deal as I first thought it was going to be, but we'll look at that. You don't get any legatos with Discover. I mean, what were you expecting? Come on, it's free. But this is the astonishing bit. Look down here, 200 megabytes. That is nothing. That is a drop of rain in an ocean. That is, you could run that on a sort of 1986 laptop. I mean, it's unbelievably small. The Core one is 23 gigabytes and the Professional one is 600 gigabytes. So to get an entire orchestral library into 200 megabytes is astonishing. Really, really astonishing. The Core one, the main difference with the Core one is you're not getting the multiple mic positions. And when you're really going, what that allows you to do is to control the level of ambience and to get a sound which really sort of fits together. And that's something which you get with the Professional edition, because you get up to a bonkers 20 different mic positions with the Professional one, but you just get one on the Core one. That's cool, that's fine. And you get, obviously, dynamic layers and all the rest of it. So, let's have a look at the actual instrument you get. Easiest way to show you this. I've built 2 templates. It took about 15 minutes to build 10-15 minutes to build a Discover one, and 20 minutes to build a 20 minutes to build a Core one. So look, here we go. Let's just open up the flutes, for example, and I'll show you what you get. So you get this rather nice, colourful interface where, as you mouse over things, it tells you what to so here we go. We got piccolo, that's flutes. Now, when it says flutes A3, what that means is 3 flutes playing at the same time. That means if you're going to play that, say, sounds lovely. That's 3 floats playing at once. The disadvantage of that is when you start playing, if you play an interval like that with 2 notes together, you're actually getting 6 flutes. You play 3, therefore you're getting 9. So it's what has been called the pipe organ effect, where it sounds less realistic because you've got an unrealistic number of instruments. But if you want a solo flute, then you go for the next edition up. But as I keep saying, what have you got to complain about? It's £49 or free. And, you know, the sound is really great. Listen. Absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hello oboes, same deal with them. Absolutely, you know, look, all this is... You know, French horns. Oh, sorry, John. It's all absolutely, you know, these are the same... They're the same sounds out of the BBC Symphony Orchestra Professional, but just very much stripped down. So it's beautifully recorded, really well sampled. You just get slightly less choice. I mean, whoo, that's a Celeste. Oh, there you go. This is all very, very playable stuff. Strings. You know, what's not to like? Celli. Okay, let's just open this up and show you what you get articulation-wise, because with the strings, you're getting longs, spiccatos, which are short, pizzicato, and tremolos. And that, in 200 and something megabytes, for nothing, is nothing short of miraculous. Absolutely incredible. And it will make this kind of working, you know, writing orchestral music available to pretty much anybody. And that's a really, really impressive thing. Well done, Christian, Paul, and Jake. Right, let's have a look at shall we have a look at the core one? Yes, let's have a look at the core one. Why not? This is the one which I suspect most of you will be, I want to look at this because, you know, it's proper money. You know, it's currently £300, but about to become £400, and they'll do educational discounts on that apparently as well. So this, you get most of the instruments from the professional set. So there are 1 or 2 areas where you don't get solo strings, for example. You don't get the full range of woodwind. You don't get bass clarinet. I mean, bass clarinet is a bit of an issue. I mean, because I kind of feel that's a bit more of a central core part of the woodwind section. But you know, I understand, and you get obviously fewer mic positions. But to be honest, on the professional one, you've got this incredible range of mic positions, including spill mics and everything else. And you think, oh, you know, there's almost too much choice. And that obviously makes up a significant amount of the 600 gigabytes or whatever it is by the time you actually get there. So look, here's the little template I built with this. And I literally just threw everything in. So I've got longs and shorts of each instrument. With the core one, you get a solo instrument and you get in threes, and the same goes for all of them. So all I've done is I've loaded up, I'll show you. I've loaded up the Woodwind Flute, but look, these are the articulations you get. You get longs, major and minor trills, flutter tongues, marcato, tenuto, and multi-tonguing. So you get a really, really good range of stuff going on in there. And it all sounds, hang on, still loading, sorry. Absolutely great. And so really, really, really nice stuff. I'm a huge fan of the professional version of the BBC Symphony Orchestra, which I've had for a while now, and it's absolutely great. It's got a really nice sound to the room, and this is the difference between this and a lot of the other Spitfire stuff, which was recorded at Air. This was recorded at Maida Vale, which is a rehearsal studio for the BBC Symphony Orchestra, and it's got the sound of a soundstage. It's got that slightly less ambient sound, and for a lot of people, me included, I prefer that. I really like that. I think it's really good. So if you wanted to do professional work, could you do it with Core? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you was looking to upgrade, if you got kind of little bits and pieces, and you may have Albion, or you may have other things from other people and things like that, and you wanted one orchestral library to get you going, this is a pretty good start. I mean, it's hard to see better value out there at the moment for a complete orchestral library. So they have definitely raised the bar. They have definitely raised the bar and put this kind of thing in the grasp of a lot more people than it was before. So, oh, it's still loading, sorry. I'm trying to load the whole thing all in one go, which is, we'll pause for a second and let it finish. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and let it finish. Okay, here's Viola Legato. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. All this stuff, you know. Cello legato, cello shorts. You know, what's not to like, really? Now, look, so this is a very brief... The thing to say, actually, about Core, before we finish off here, is the amount of memory it takes. As you can see, I've loaded up pretty much everything, and right now, Cubase is using 10.5 gigabytes, and this is running on Windows 10 in Cubase 10.5. So the actual footprint is very economical. So if you're running on a reasonably swift laptop or a MacBook Pro or whatever, you will be able to run a full orchestral template without too many compromises. And particularly if you're coming off an SSD, it'll perform absolutely great. So look, this is indeed, I think, a game changer because it makes professional quality orchestral library available at a fraction of the price it's been available before. And I think both, obviously, you know, when you're talking about value and it starts at free, I mean, you can't really beat that. Core absolutely weighs in as I think probably the best value complete orchestral library that you can get at the moment. And I'm a big fan of the professional. It's beautifully done. It's really well done. It's excellent and all the rest of it. So look, if you really want to know if this is going to work for you, I am going to be doing 2 more videos. One where we just start from scratch with Discover and write a piece of music just using Discover with no preconception, so you can watch the whole process and see how well the library performs. And a second one where we do the same thing with Core. So if you're up for that, remember to subscribe to the channel and do the little bell ding thing, because then when I leap into life and do this stuff, you'll be reminded, and then you can come and join me and spend half an hour watching how we write a bit of music using these two incredible new libraries. So I hope you found that useful, and we will do more on this very soon. So look forward to catching up with you then.